Wow. Do I not look like the epitome of a stressed person right now? I'm so sorry. I just don't have the time and the energy to look good right now. September is an interesting month. Did I have fun on my birthday month? Yes, I did. Um, I ate a lot of good food, for sure. But in terms of reading, uh, I. You know what? Let's move on to my reading vlog. It's already October, so I've thought quite long and hard about what I'm gonna be reading for the spooky season because it's here now officially. And I actually have a lot of spooky books on my unread pile. So it was really, really fun to, pick and decide which books are gonna make it on my TBR. So I'm feeling good that I can be ambitious for this reading vlog. Reparations has to be done to make up for, you know, quite the underwhelming experience I had in September. I thought I'm really gonna go all out and just pick out books that make me happy. Yes, I'm reading short stories again, short story collections. Reparations has to be made, okay? Reparations has to be made, and this is how. I'm starting the reading vlog with Waking the Dead by Yvette Tan. So this is a collection of horror stories, and this is part of my earliest purchases in this year. So I'm really glad that I won't have to wait any longer because this has been blurbed by Dean Francis Alfar, which, fast became one of my favorite authors of all time because of Salamanca. So if he thinks highly of this author, I have complete faith. Second book that I'm going to be reading is The Mistletoe Bride and Other Haunting Tales by Kate Moss. Again, this is a short story collection, of course, and can we just take a look at the cover? Because isn't this the kind of creepy vibe that fits the season? I suddenly saw that these eerie tales are perfect for stormy winter darkness. I mean, does it matter if it's autumn right now in most parts of the world? We don't have those kind of seasons here in the Philippines, so I don't care. Interestingly, the third book that I am planning to read for this reading vlog, I don't have it yet with me because I purchased it online, so it's still on the way to be shipped to me. And that is Eliza Victoria's 17 Prayers to the Many-Eyed Mother. Do I even remember that correctly? But Eliza Victoria is also a prominent Filipino author that is very talked about and critically acclaimed in the Filipino booktube community. So I am so excited that I'm finally having a chance to read her. And then finally, I'm gonna cap it off and finish this reading vlog by reading Trigger Warning by Neil Gaiman. This is part of my birthday book haul last year. So I'm glad I finally have a chance to read a short story collection from Neil Gaiman again. This is Short Fictions and Disturbances. Is it making sense now that I really picked books that have matching, eerie and haunting vibes? I can't wait. I can't wait for Reparations. This is the very first reading vlog that I'm predicting everything to be a 5-star read. That's how much I'm craving for excellent reads, and I'm feeling really good. So I'm finally getting started with Waking the Dead. See you when I see you. I know. I know it's weird that I'm filming this lying down right now. But I have no choice. I'm so tired. Don't get me wrong, though I really like my work, but it's been particularly demanding this last couple of weeks, and my health is not at its best right now. For some reason, I just feel ill, and my sleeping patterns are all messed up. So, anyway, the good news though, I just finished Waking the Dead, and yep, yep. I'm kind of scared for several reasons. I'm scared because, wow, this is really good horror. I'm so proud because of how good our writers are. Oh, highly recommend. Second of all, I'm scared because I feel like I started on such a strong note, but wait. I was predicting everything to be 5 stars for this reading vlog, right? So I just literally manifested that because wow, this is excellent. I finished this as I was attending the reading sprint of the PAMs, and I've been telling them on that live chat that I'm not really very much scared whenever I watch horror movies, but this book really got me so squeamish. I am so impressed. Anyway, yes, 5 out of 5 stars for sure. I really like the short story collection book. I love it. I love that there's a variety of unsettling and disturbing in this collection. So yes, if you'd like to be spooked out, give this one a try. Highly recommend. And we're finally moving to The Mistletoe Bride by Kate Moss. As a matter of fact, I already started reading this book. I already read the first story, which is the title track. The title track! Yeah, The Mistletoe Bride is also the first story in this collection, and the writing style is completely the writing style that I love. I am so impressed with this author that not even finishing the first story yet, you know what? I immediately looked up her other book that I've had on my cart for quite a long time, The Taxidermist's Daughter. And I placed an order for it. This is the sign that I needed, that I really need to read this author, because I love her writing style, and it makes me so happy that there's a lot waiting for me. I'm already feeling so much better right now, so I'm gonna read more of this and then sleep. See you. I can't even make this up. I What irony, what coincidence. I promise I'm not even attempting any kind of, spooky season aesthetic. But for some reason, Morocco has decided to give us a power outage that's gonna last for 6 hours. It's 11 in the evening, and then they just suddenly sent out a notification that the power is gonna go back at around 5 in the morning. Why? Is that gonna stop me from reading The Mistletoe Bride? No. I am this far along. So I am this far in the book. It's brilliant. This book is such a writing flex. That's my favorite thing about it. I love the stories. I love them and enjoy them so much. But my favorite thing so far is how beautifully written every single story is. Like, do you get that feeling when a book is a writer's book? Like, you can just really tell that this is a storyteller who wants to excel in the art of storytelling. Do you ever get that feeling whenever you read a book? That's how I feel about The Mistletoe Bride. And Kate Moss. Yes. Also, I think I'm gonna be using, for the first time ever, this really cool gift from my friend Ira. This is a scented candle, which is titled Hating Gabi. This is such a beautiful, stunning name for a candle, right? And this is lavender tea tree scented. So, I'm gonna read The Mistletoe Bride by Candlelight using this. Yes, let's be pretentious all throughout the night. Why don't we? This book is so good, I can't even pick a favorite. The same way that I really love Waking the Dead, this too has a lot of excellent stories. Every single one of them I love so much. It's gonna be really hard to pick a favorite. Right now, I'm reading The Ship of the Dead. And that's one thing that I also really like about this collection, because every single story comes along with accompanying artwork that really gives you, the vibe, the ambiance, and, really stellar visuals and imagery for what the story wants to convey. So, really hitting everything so perfectly. Hello. I've already finished The Mistletoe Bride. I'm not big on aesthetics, but I'm particularly proud of how my tabbing for this book is consistent with its cover design. It's so pretty. Very fitting, because this book is gorgeous. Was it scary though? Since the claim is that these are a collection of haunting tales. No, I was not scared. But did I love it? Yes. So much. Am I going to give it 5 stars? Yes. Will I recommend it to people? Only selectively. I can't praise this enough. I can't rave hard enough, but I will do so towards the end, at the wrap up. So I hope you stick around. But yeah, I had so much fun reading this book. I think it is a perfect spooky season read. It's been raining lately in the Philippines. Power outages left and right. So I couldn't have read this at a perfect time. It's a perfect book for this time of the year. For me. Anyway, on to my next book. I'm supposed to read The 17 Prayers to the Many-Eyed Mother by Eliza Victoria. As a matter of fact, it's already with me. I already have it here. I have a very shallow, nonsensical reason as to why I'm not moving on to that yet, because I would like to open that as part of a birthday book haul unboxing. I'm so far behind on the things that I'm supposed to edit and post that I can't even keep track anymore. But yeah, I thought I would rather just move on to this first. Neil Gaiman's Trigger Warning. I think this is still a very complimentary book for the weather that the Philippines is having right now. It's storming. I think there's a super typhoon. But yeah. Short fictions and disturbances. You know, that's one of the perks of reading short story collections, right? You can drop them whenever you want to. So I think partway through, halfway through, I will drop this and then read Eliza Victoria's book. I don't know, whichever works better, but for now I feel like I should move on to this first and then continue having a good time. It is 2 a.m. on. Is it Saturday or Sunday? Well, it's 2 a.m. on a Sunday, and I spent the entire night finishing Trigger Warning. Needless to say, as I've manifested, this is 5 stars. And what I'm loving so far about this horror short story collection chronicle is how they're all different kinds of horror. This in particular, surprisingly, is an emotional kind of horror, I guess. It attacked me in ways that I was not expecting at all. Neil Gaiman really did that. There were really some pieces here that made me tear up. Uh, it really made you feel how much Neil Gaiman loves the art of storytelling. So that's one of my favorite things about this collection. And I'm moving on to my next book. Yes, I'm not gonna sleep. I am intending to read until the morning, and it's 17 Prayers for the Many-Eyed Mother by Eliza Victoria. I'm so thrilled to begin this. And of course, 3 books down, 5 stars. All of them, and this is my fourth and final book. This is also going to be a 5 stars. I hope. And guess who just had her best reading month for the year 2022? I still can't believe that I've spoken that into reality, but I really did that. Before I do the recap, can I just brag at how, I don't know, how creatively I've dabbed these books, because I use color-coded tabbing on each of them, matching their cover designs. Waking the Dead by Yvette Tan. Easily a 5-star read for me. I think out of all the books in this reading vlog, this is the one that scared me the most. I don't get scared easily because I've watched a lot of dark, creepy content. But this book really managed to disturb me. And I think that's my biggest takeaway from this book, because I finally learned and realized what type of stories scare me. And it's the unsettling, eerie, disturbing kind of horror. Also, I think a big factor that attributed to that fact is how this contains such heavy social cultural commentary that hits so close to home. And probably that's why it resonated so much with me. I realize a lot of the things here are still vividly on my mind. This book made me realize that the type of horror that scares me would be horror that happens in settings, in places, in scenarios where horror is not supposed to happen. You get what I mean? I highly recommend this book. Please support our horror and speculative fiction writers. You will not regret it. And I promise, this is the kind of book that you would like to discuss and talk about to other people. So if you have bookish friends as well, please pick this up. My absolute favorites from this collection would be Stella for Star, Delivering the Goods, The Child Abandoned, and The Bridge. So those 4 stories are my top favorites in this collection. Second book I've read is The Mistletoe Bride by Kate Moss, and let me just brag about my tabbing for this one. I'm particularly proud of this because it matches its cover design so well. I've given this 5 stars, of course. Very early into the book. I mean, I haven't even finished the first story yet, and I know in my gut, I can feel it in my soul that I will be giving this 5 stars. And I managed to finish the entire book, and not once have I wavered. This is a solid 5-star read for me. My favorite thing about this book is the writing style. I think I've already raved about it earlier in the clips as well. I don't know, it's just a joyful, such a delightful feeling whenever you come across a writer that perfectly suits your tastes, that perfectly matches what you're craving for and what you're looking for and what impresses you. And this is Kate Moss. Out of the 4 books, this is the most atmospheric one. And what I really appreciate in this book is how it made me understand. It made me come to terms with my love for short stories, on why exactly I adore and crave short stories all the time. And that's because short stories has a way of really presenting you a story without wasting your time. It's magical how they can craft a pocket-sized world and tell you a compact story. And if it's in the hands of an excellent writer, it's even more memorable. And that's what this book did. This is so transporting and very creepy, very gothic. True enough, this is the kind of book that you'd like to read in cold weather. And it just happened that I have read it during the time when the rain was so heavy in the Philippines. It's perfect. My absolute favorites in this collection would be The Mistletoe Bride, of course, The House on the Hill, Do It, and my favorite is Why the Yew Tree Lives So Long. Third book is Trigger Warning by Neil Gaiman. This is also a 5-star read, of course. This book, from Neil Gaiman's introduction alone, I was already reeling. Because this man's love for storytelling, the art of writing, is just so... I can't put it into words. He loves writing and storytelling so much, and as someone who aspires to do exactly that, nothing can feel more encouraging, nothing can feel more affirming than finding out how that art is that appreciated, you know. I have so many favorites in this collection as well, but the ones that really stood out to me would be A Calendar of Tales, My Last Landlady, The Thing About Cassandra, Feminine Endings, The Sleeper and the Spindle. There's a lot. And my personal favorite would be The Man Who Forgot Ray Bradbury. That short story nearly made me cry. It just hits different because it's about writing, and it just hits different. It's just so good. It's so good. And my last and final book for this reading vlog is 17 Prayers to the Many-Eyed Mother by Eliza Victoria. I have this blue. And I have given this book 4.5 stars. Which you might ask, why have I not given this a 5? Honestly, as I was reading this book, I was intent to give this a 4. I don't know. I love it. You know, I enjoy the stories a lot. But I don't know if it's a matter of how the stories ended, because all of the stories feel so abruptly finished. And I get it, because having finished this, I have read at the back, and I thought it would be delivered that way because it was intentional. Because apparently this is about displacement, which makes sense, you know, because a lot of the stories happened in other parts of the world. So these are Filipinos. I think most of the stories are about Filipinos, but they're in other countries. So that's probably why it's harder for me to, I don't know, empathize or visualize. But nevertheless, it's still an enjoyable experience because I get to see different perspectives, and there are a lot of themes explored about loneliness, about, you know, the struggles of young people my age. I just felt like, I don't know, on a writing perspective, I'm not sure if this is something that I would, you know, read again from time to time, because the other 3 books, I was constantly thinking about them and intending to read them again and again sometime soon. I'm not sure if I can say the same with these books. Now, I have adjusted the rating to 4.5 because the last 4 stories are remarkable. So even though I can't give this a perfect 5, those last 4 stories are my absolute favorites in this collection. Blessed Are Those Who Suffer, The Ghost of Sinagdala, Fairy Tales, and Let Me Hold Your Hand. I would still highly recommend, of course, for the right kind of reader, this could be a perfect 5. I still really enjoy this, you know, and I'm looking forward to reading more of Eliza Victoria's works. I feel so successful. I hope you had a great time during this spooky season, and I hope you were able to read great books during this month. I hope you're safe and healthy. Let's hope for more great reads as we approach the end of the year. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you on my next one.